Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Welcome to the show with Mike. Big E's in the house. What up, Big E?
Hello.
Trav Bully is here. Sexy E's.
It's not what you called him yesterday.
What? What did I
called
call
him Sexy Easy's yesterday.
Troy did.
I almost crashed my car.
I would have never called
That
him
was
Sexy
Troy.
E's.
That was
Troy,
Troy.
maybe. But actually, Troy's on a date night. Our schedule's gotten
Oh, that's why I'm
thrown
here?
so off.
No, just kidding. I'm kidding.
He was hoping to come home at like 3 o'clock and
Yeah.
do the show, and I'm like, dude, I'm in the middle of meetings
Yeah.
on the other side of the world, like all afternoon, all day today. So
I got to come
exhausted.
drive over here with gas prices because Troy needs
Yeah.
to get laid. Like he doesn't get laid enough.
He was saying that he had he was planning on dinner and a movie with Hat. I was like, just do it. I'll text Jesus and see if he can come over today. So
My
just
God.
go do you. Don't worry about us.
I'll be thinking about that when I go home and
Yeah.
masturbate by myself.
Well, he was, I was like, whatever.
I'm kidding.
Whatever.
I'm
glad Travis is here for a minute. He came over early enough to do the whole show, but you're a busy guy, so you got to get moving before too long. But it's always good to. It just feels comfortable when you're here, Trav.
Thank you.
Yeah, I got to be honest. What are you gearing up for? You got
I got some time off, some things around the house, that
Yeah.
sort of thing. So yeah.
a little vacation time?
Yep. I keep on getting yelled at by HR that I'm maxed out on my vacation time. So
Really?
yeah.
Why?
They want you to take a break.
Yeah, you should.
Oh,
dude.
you're maxed. I thought they were saying you didn't have any left. You were maxed out, but no,
Oh, yeah.
you have too much.
Right. I'm a liability. If I quit, they have to pay me.
Oh yeah.
Why? Let me ask, seriously. Let me ask. Why are you not taking your vacation days?
It's busy. I swear.
Yeah, that's what the.
Yeah, but the problem.
I know it's hard for you to.
No, it's not hard, but you work in America.
The problem with people like Trav is they take their job very seriously, and when they're away and they know there's stuff to be done, their head is back there and not correct.
I get it.
I need
So
like a
they're
week.
not delivering
I need
pizzas
like
for a living.
I need like a week before
Yeah.
vacation, then a week after vacation.
Yeah.
Then maybe it'd work.
No, I get that, but there's a thing. In this country, it's handled really pretty crappily. Like there's this pressure to not.
They're getting
take
better at it.
Are they?
Yeah,
Okay.
like he said, dude, you're maxed. You got to take some time off.
Well, that's good. I
like
mean,
that back in the day, 30 years ago, they would have just said, fine.
Yep.
Eat the vacation time, and we need you here anyways.
Yeah,
Right.
they're really
You work
trying
double
to
shifts.
yeah.
Well, that's good. That's better.
Yeah, it is.
Because no, dude, I will do that for things I love. And I'm not saying he does. I don't know exactly what Travis does, but I'm just saying in some of these jobs, man, these people working their fucking self nowhere for a corporation that would fire them tomorrow if they felt like they wanted to.
Yeah, if they weren't woke enough, if they said the wrong thing on a microphone.
Well, or anything, just any reason. Like Jay used to say, right? Like, oh, fire you because the sky's blue or whatever.
Yeah.
Fucking bullshit. Like,
Yeah.
So,
Here's what it is.
I guess.
What are you going to do?
Yeah,
Thank you for coming over, Easus, with your bright pink shirt.
I
Can
know.
you turn that
It's a
down?
pleasure.
Bad X Michigan.
Yeah, Bad X Michigan.
Yep, equipped with stains on it, food stains. That's nice.
That's fresh today, too, because this is brand new clean.
Yeah,
When I put it on.
what'd you eat? What are you wearing?
What did I have? Lasagna?
Yeah,
Lasagna
it
and a
looks
hot
like
dog?
That looks like it could be a hot dog stain or a
Yeah,
lasagna
mustard
stain.
or lasagna.
Yeah.
Yeah, looks good. Looks good on you.
Quite a combination.
I was going to say your hair looks nice today. Did you shower or something?
Everyone always says, I always feel like that was a thing. Like, I actually love showering. It really got twisted that I don't like showering. I just don't wash my hair.
Does that count as showering?
But you're in the shower. You're in the shower. I'm not taking. I sometimes will take 2-3 showers.
Have you
a day.
ever gone in the shower without washing your hair?
Never.
Trev? Never.
Well, you're not
one
supposed to
time in my
wash
life.
it every
so.
day. For one, by the way, you're supposed to do
well-
it like every other day, 3 days a week or whatever. But I love being in the shower, the hot water and standing there, and especially now that I've taken them almost every day again. So
I do
Yeah.
2-a-days.
Two showers?
I mean, I know, and I know you have like long flowing hair, so maybe
Yeah.
you're not supposed to condition it. And
Yeah,
stuff.
it dries out.
I will take 2 showers if I have something going on, because usually I exercise at one point. And then if I'm doing something, I like getting in the shower.
I have a mandatory 1 shower a day policy.
least.
No matter what?
Just one. No matter what, one.
What if you get sweaty and shit?
Don't care. I already showered this morning. I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good. If I go in the pool, no shower after.
Gotcha.
I could mud wrestle and I wouldn't shower. I already had my shower for the day.
That's great.
just a personal policy.
That's interesting to me because you're getting at me for not cutting my hair, washing my hair, but it's like
I just said your hair looks nice. What are you talking
no,
about?
but you're saying, but it doesn't count as a shower if I don't wash my hair. And I'm saying I literally will get in. I'll do it twice a day regularly if I'm doing something. I love being in the shower. I just don't. Anyway, whatever. I rinse.
Well, I thank you for coming over nonetheless.
Great.
So let's get to some stuff going on in the world. I thought this was funny. Yesterday, You got to get out of here. Oh, you just click.
I'm gonna listen to the show in the other room for a few minutes, make sure
Okay.
it sounds okay, and then
head out.
Yep.
You want to sit over there?
Can I walk over there when I'm needed? Because
Yeah,
it's,
sure.
it's easier
That's
to
fine.
sit here
I
if I
have,
can.
I have you queued up, so when you come over here, just click the button.
What do you have?
Okay.
A pick and a video over there?
Yep,
I think
the
that's
videos
what
are
I
good,
had.
So you're good to go.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect.
All right.
Thank you, Trev.
Yep, we'll see you guys.
Have a safe trip, vacation,
I'll talk to you,
whatever
I'm
you
sure.
do. Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Definitely.
See ya.
All right.
I just like this mic better.
Yeah.
It's a little
no, I
easier.
understand. I understand. I wish I didn't have a picture and a video, but
No, that's all right.
we'll see. We'll see if we even get to it. I don't remember what I was saying.
Probably about whatever you're reading there in front of you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No. Yesterday, someone, and I don't know, might have been Trav, might have been AA Ron, produced that sign for us. It has
Oh,
been,
yeah.
0 days
Without
doing a trans story.
correct.
Yeah. Well, it's going to continue to be 0 days.
Didn't you
I
do
just
one
gotta be
yesterday
honest.
though? I mean,
Yeah,
technically-
that's why it was 0
okay.
days. 'Cause it was
Okay. Yeah.
The show before, we did none.
Not do one. Yeah.
And so we had one full day without doing any trans stories. But I thought this was worth it.
You know the funny thing, honestly, I believe this because you're not that kind of, you're not a mean person. I believe that you wouldn't do these if it was just treated like whatever.
Yeah.
If it was
wasn't
just,
thrown in my face every day.
if it was just hey guys, this is now a thing. I even when people say like there wasn't trans people there was definitely trans people back in the 1800s.
Not
no,
like
it would have
this.
been it would have been way less. I'm just saying, like, if it was just, hey,
Yeah.
this is a thing, guys. I know we didn't really realize it before, but this is a thing that's out there at times.
Yeah.
and it'd be fine if
It's kind of like I compare it a little bit, just thinking out loud, to climate change.
yeah.
And you look at climate change throughout thousands of years, and you see that climate change was always there.
Right.
It was always sort of there. And then you see the last however many years, and it's rocketed 8,000%.
Right.
That's what I think of the trans issue.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, okay, of course it was always there. There's always some level of that
Yeah.
in the world, but this doesn't make sense. This seems man-made.
Right.
This rapid incline.
Right.
Out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So gay people always existed. They didn't rocket up 8,000% in a matter of 3 years.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. No,
And
I agree with that.
So
that's my point,
what
though.
I'm-
It's like I don't think like you're not. You know what I mean? It's
no,
really
and
more,
I'm glad you said that because I don't feel like a mean-spirited person at all.
they make it easy on them. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Those people.
Those people. No, for sure they do. And I'm sorry, it just kind of pushes the whole mental instability.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like when it's like, it sounds like you've got a mental issue there that you think you're something you're not. And they get batshit crazy when you say something like that. But then they fly off the handle at the lightest controversy or joke. The latest thing, it's like, well, if you wanted to be treated like normal people are subject to jokes all the time.
Right,
So
for sure.
it seems like I would be I would be bigoted in my views of you if I ignored you.
Right.
Instead of just acknowledging your existence, maybe poke fun here and there. And if you can't laugh at trans people, holy shit.
I know.
There seems like there's tremendous comedy there.
I know.
Just between me
It's a
and
tough
you.
deal. It's a tough deal.
Yeah. Well, Elon Musk, whenever I can mix Elon Musk with the trans world, I will.
Oh, boy.
And his 18-year-old son has filed court documents seeking to legally change his gender from male to female.
Elon Musk's
Musk's his kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. To lose their last name, stating, I no longer live with or wish to be related to my biological father in any way, shape, or form. That's a bold statement to say about a guy that's worth $213
That's what I was
billion.
gonna say. I mean, yeah, couldn't you just harbor the resentment?
Yeah.
I
Bite
would
your
suck
tongue
it
a little
in,
bit.
dude. I'd suck it in.
Yeah.
I mean, you could. Lots of kids don't love their dads or parents.
Yeah, and they're with nothing.
And they're with nothing, but they still talk to them. I think that's a dumb move. But
Yeah, terrible move.
unless she, whatever, thinks that.
And why do you need to inform us all of this? It seems like a giant virtue signal. You're 18.
Yeah,
do
for
what
sure.
you want. You want to cut your dick off? Cut your dick off.
Yeah.
No one cares. Do you care?
No,
I don't either. Xavier Musk filed the paperwork in Santa Monica, California, on April 18th, seeking to be known as Vivian Jenna Wilson.
There's gonna be some buyer's remorse here. I know it's not buying anything, but like
No,
there's
it's
gonna
buying
be
some stuff.
There's gonna be some remorse at some point.
You
I
think
believe
because of his dad's wealth, or
Yeah, the
because
wealth. The
of
wealth.
cutting his dong off?
the wealth. Well,
Yeah.
The other one maybe. Whatever. Some of them seem to be happy, so I can't guarantee that. I can
Here's the
guarantee. I
thing.
feel like at some point the wealth will be a problem.
Wherever we are on the level, of like family stability or wealth, like you have your story, your
Yeah.
lived reality. I
Right.
have mine. Some people are less fortunate than us. Some people are vastly more fortunate than us.
Definitely.
But there's a spectrum, right?
Right.
None of us start on the same exact playing field,
Correct.
right? This kid knows nothing but his dad being the world's richest man.
I know.
Like, there's no way. Like, it might be really easy to be like, I don't want anything to do with him. It's
Well, this is like when the Royals, wow, we're going to be done with being a royal family after they just like spent a shitload of money making
Yeah.
their house all nice and can't, you know what I mean? I
Yeah.
don't exactly remember the story because I don't care that much, but
yeah, put like $50 million
but where's he gonna
into a
live?
castle.
Right. Like, where is he going to live? He's gonna,
Already
is he gonna
living in Santa Monica.
you know, so what, you know, what's he going to be in a studio apartment that he's paying for?
Sure.
Right. I mean,
Sure.
where is the money coming from?
I don't know. They have not commented on whether they receive financial support from their dad.
They do. That means
Yeah,
that's
absolutely means that.
Yeah, that means,
Yep.
hey, I'm not. Hey, that's my business. I'm not talking about it.
Yeah.
It means you do.
Yeah, of course you are. And probably have. If I was Elon, I would make a stand on this, being like, "Oh, okay,
Okay.
you
Yeah.
want to have nothing to do with me? Well, then having nothing to do with me includes my extreme wealth.
Yeah.
Good luck.
I would too.
Good luck. You could pay for your own trans surgery first off.
Right.
You want to cut your dick off and bore a hole between your legs and call yourself a woman? Knock yourself out. But that's
Well,
on
if
your
I were
dime.
him, though, what I would say is, I would say, I don't have a problem with this. I would be, he's my son, and whatever.
He's got lots of kids.
I would call him, I don't know, but I would call him whatever he wants, this and that. But you know what? He's going to sit there and change his name and make this big thing. Okay, then.
Yeah.
You get to be
luck.
right. I would make a statement saying I would love him, and I still do. But if he doesn't want my name, hey,
Yeah.
is what it is, buddy.
They say having extreme wealth like that is almost more destructive to a person
I'm sure.
than extreme poverty.
I'm sure it is.
You know what I mean?
That makes sense to me.
Yeah, it does. Because if you think about it, if you come from extreme poverty, anything you get, you've had to work your ass off for.
Yep.
Where these people that are born into such extreme wealth, they don't know what it's like to want for anything.
For
And
sure.
So they don't have to struggle in any way. So maybe it'd be good for him, even for a few years. Just
Right.
go out there and see what you can do by yourself, Vivian.
I would 100% not be giving him any money, though.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to know how
Especially when you shit on me in public.
Santa Monica.
We'll see how long you can live in Santa Monica. Sure. Maybe he'll end up on Skid Row.
Right.
It'd be a good spot for him. Musk was married to Vivian's mother, Justine Wilson, from 2000 to 2008. Their first son, Nevada, was born in 2002 and died of one of my favorite syndromes, SIDS, sudden infant death.
Wow.
At 10 weeks old. Yeah, it's long been one of my favorite syndromes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's God's way, a little bit of helping with population control.
Yeah.
I mean, it's small numbers, granted, but every little bit helps.
It's true.
Some people would call it a drop of water in the ocean, but still, it's something.
Every little bit helps, like you said.
The pair went on to have twins, Xavier and Griffin, and triplet boys, Damien, Kai, and
Jesus
Saxon.
Christ, he has that many kids?
Yeah. The 5 teenagers have kept a fairly low profile. Musk also has 2 children with singer Grimes, guess who Grimes is dating now?
I don't even know who Grimes is. Oh,
Grimes is a singer.
Okay, who?
Chelsea Manning. Remember Chelsea Manning?
Yeah, the
Like the Snowden was jailed for.
yes.
And then
all of a sudden, she
was
he
trans.
became a she.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, I do.
So Grimes is apparently dating Chelsea Manning.
And that
now.
Grimes is one of his.
Has 2 children with Musk.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Grimes. God. Okay.
It's unclear what is behind Xavier's rejection of their father in such a public way. It's probably because he's been kind of vocal.
Yeah.
On trans issues.
Oh,
last
has he?
year.
I didn't even know this.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's just lightly made jokes.
God.
I mean, whatever.
Okay.
He complained about people using their own pronouns. He also said he was a fan of Ron DeSantis, who has been condemned by the alphabet community for his bill preventing discussion of gender identity and homosexuality in classrooms for children in kindergarten through 3rd grade. That is such a bullshit sentence right there. That is not what that bill says. It does not say preventing discussion of gender identity and homosexuality. It prevents discussion of any sexuality, whether heterosexuality or homosexuality, to kindergartners through 3rd graders.
yeah.
That's all it says.
Doesn't seem that big of a deal.
No, it doesn't. And most Americans agree with that.
Right.
By a large amount.
Right.
When you explain the details.
Yeah.
But that sentence right there in this paper, can't discuss gender identity or homosexuality. Bullshit. It's not true. Last week, Musk called out virtue signaling critics who panned Ricky Gervais's new stand-up special. Still, many who watched his show tweeted about how much they enjoyed it. The Atlantic staff writer Connor Friedersdorf tweeted a screenshot from the movie Rotten Tomatoes, showing that 92% liked the special and rated it well. Same time, only 14% of critics gave the stand-up routine a high rating. In response, Musk wrote, "The critics seek not to critique, but rather to virtue signal. They are out of touch with the people and so lose their credibility with the people."
I mean, to me, critics is like the idea of the weatherman.
Yeah.
Why do I who listens to a critic?
Is there anything more worthless today in media than the weather person? I mean, if they're making more than minimum wage, if they're making more than $15 an hour, even for national broadcast, it's a travesty.
I know this is such a cliche thing, and we've long on this show you've made fun of the idea of the news. So I get this very cliche, but I was watching like a NASCAR thing on Saturday, and not even kidding, it was like they were doing, the thing ended at 10. They're like, "Oh, what's the weather going to be like for Father's Day? We'll tell you at 11." I'm going to wait till 11 to find out what the weather is tomorrow.
Isn't that hilarious?
I can't even fathom that they said that. And I know there are older people, I guess, that are, I don't know,
Dude,
man.
you're talking about 1% of nobodies.
Dude,
my parents are old, and they're more on social media and all that shit than I am. They know more about computers than I do.
If you have a smartphone, and I get that there probably are old people out there that don't, but if you have a smartphone, it gives you a weather app it's not even like you're searching it.
No.
It's there. And you go, "Oh, if you want to know what the weather is going to be like for Father's Day, catch us at 11.
Dude, local media, whether it's radio, local newscasts, and if you look at those local newscast people, they are so fucking green and so bad.
I know.
It's embarrassing. The people that they have in a major market like Detroit, the people they have working at Channel 7, 4, 2, it's hilarious.
Well, they're at the
how bad
point.
they are.
It's why obviously sitcoms are terrible too. They're at the point where TV is still there. They need to have something on, but obviously no one's watching. Whatever the numbers are, terrible. I'm sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't watch any of it, but for some reason my mom still does. Right. And same thing. That Saturday morning, there's some guy at a fucking thing. They're talking about this company's won best barbecue, whatever it was, right? And they're talking, and they're like, "Oh, have the guy on the mic, have the news reporter eat his thing, and then and you guys talk about your story. You're probably mic'd up, right?"
Yeah.
They're not, and so they're just talking, and you can't hear them. All you can hear is like from whatever they're saying to his mic that he's holding it to. They're sitting there like, and then halfway through them just talking about their restaurant. And he's like, "Yeah, tell them about everything. You're mic'd up, right?" And you can't hear them for one.
Yeah.
And then literally they cut off the speaker in the middle of the thing because they have to go to the next one. Like, "Oh, sorry, John, we got to go. 10 o'clock. Go.
Yeah.
Bye." And he's like halfway in his prompting, or his telling of their business and shit.
Yeah,
like,
they don't give a shit. They don't want to hear the rest of it. They don't care. No, they're just filling time. As soon as the producer tells them to cut, they just cut. They don't.
Didn't matter.
I was in LA listening, and I would watch Bill Maloogian on a local channel there. I was like, this guy's pretty good. He's covering like crime in LA. He's covering all this stuff, and I first saw him, and I was like, this guy's a douchebag. But then I listened to him, and I was like, huh. For a local reporter, this guy's
actually doing
pretty
news.
Good. Next thing you know, he pops up on Tucker Carlson. Tucker's covering what was going on. It might have been the border crisis.
Yeah.
And got local reporter no, it was about Gavin Newsom or one of those being recalled.
Right. That makes sense. Yeah.
And so they get this local. I'm like, hey, that's Bill Maloogian. He did one break on Tucker Carlson show, and I'm like, that guy's fucking great.
Yeah.
He's been hired since by national Fox News as a correspondent. Those are so few and far between, though, where you go, oh, wow, that's what talent looks like on the air.
And I understand, like, I wanted to do different things. I couldn't do local news. But the thing is, like, at this point, like I said, it's a weird situation where no one's watching, but they still need to have it. And so, no, but
I know.
they got to fill the time.
Dude, watching them struggle to hang on to stuff like coming up at 11, like sports on the 8s, traffic on the 2s. It's like anybody that actually wants that news just goes right to their smartphone. They're not paying any attention to what these clowns are doing on local news.
Yeah, no,
nobody. It's a dinosaur industry that refuses to die, and it's fun watching it topple.
Yeah, it was when never mind. I'll leave it out. Go ahead. No, I was going to
on.
talk. I was going to bring up another story, but it's fine. I don't want to just keep piling on the same thing.
No, you can. I don't care.
Well, here's
I
what.
love pounding on
Okay,
local
well
news.
here.
They're all dog shit, in my opinion.
Okay,
No offense to local news people.
So this was on this weekend too. I saw a thing where they're talking about how the energy, we'd have to have energy, with the heat and ways to get your energy bill down, right? And they fucking go, they have the gall. Like I couldn't even fucking believe it. I came in and rewound to see if I really heard what I said. And they're like, their solution was, they're like, well, why don't you set your temperature at 78 in the house? Because everything under 78 is going to cost you like blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay. Yeah, well, why don't I go 40 down 75 because that's better with gas mileage? Like, 78?
Yeah.
That's summer temperatures outside. I go outside if it's 78 sometimes. I'm like, damn, dude, can I get a fucking shorts on? Like, 78 in your house? Okay, yeah, you're saving money, but that's not the...
Who's doing that, by the way? Who's listening to that advice?
I couldn't even fucking believe it.
There must be somebody out there. I don't know.
And they're like, well, and then I was telling my sister, so then they said this. They go, well, here's the thing. If you have it at 78, well, you know what? A ceiling fan only costs you $1 a month or something like that. So that's a savings. And they're like, so if you just put 3 ceiling fans in your house and put your house at 78, well, then
I can't believe you retain this much information from a local newscast.
Well, here's what happened. It came on, and I was doing dishes in the other room, and I was doing something else around the house, and it came on an hour later. Same report. They just repeated it.
Sure.
And so I walked in to make sure I heard it right the time before. 3 ceiling fans. Just add some ceiling fans to your house.
Yeah, can you imagine? Just
wire them in,
over.
by the way. Electricity, I'm sure you know how to do that. I'm sure you're not going to pay someone to do that.
Nah.
They're very
Cost
easy.
you $1 a month.
Right, very easy to put up.
Sure.
Just
Sure is.
it'll save you $30 a month.
So Musk had responded to these critics. You're seeing this a lot.
Yeah.
When something's perceived to be not woke enough or whatever movie, and it's getting What Is a Woman?
Right.
That documentary was getting like a 98 on Rotten Tomatoes, and 2% from critics.
Right.
And so Musk responded to that, said the critics seek not to critique, but rather to virtue signal. They are out of touch with the people, so they lose credibility with the people. Meanwhile, in April, Twitter employees lashed out at Musk's deal to acquire the company in the $44 billion deal, accusing him of bigotry. Okay, I don't know how we get there.
I know.
You take any critique of whatever bullshit thing they're trying to push today, and you don't agree with it, it's bigotry?
Yep,
All right.
It is. That is what it is.
One employee at the meeting described Musk as anti-gay and anti-transgender. Okay, you don't need to provide any proof of that. Just say it. That's all that matters. Expressing fear that his ownership would hurt efforts to recruit new employees. What should we tell the Alphabet community at recruiting conferences we're lined up to attend when they ask us why they should come work at Twitter when we just sold ourselves to an open homophobe and transphobe? Did you?
I would tell you that Twitter is basically worthless also, and I don't even know why it matters anymore. It's got, to me, it's just, because it's not entertaining anymore. It's really just, people fighting each other. I mean, so it's...
Yeah. Last week, in response to an article discussing whether the question, what is a woman, was legitimate, Musk tweeted, we are simultaneously being told that gender differences do not exist and that genders are so profoundly different that irreversible surgery is the only option. Perhaps someone wiser than me can explain this dichotomy. It is a better world if we are less judgy. He also insisted he's totally pro-Alphabet rights and cites Tesla's constant top marks in the list of the best places for Alphabet people to work as evidence of his open-mindedness. I have no doubt.
And obviously they don't respond to any of these. You know what I'm saying? They don't go back and say anything to that. It's always just...
So you just take someone who's never met him, doesn't know him personally, takes a couple jokes out of context, takes a couple comments out of context, and just makes a grand declaration that someone is X, and that's it.
Yeah.
Homophobe, transphobe, you are watering down what those terms mean, folks. That's all you're doing.
Yeah, for sure.
By the way, Tesla laid off 2 high-achieving employees involved in their diversity and Alphabet initiatives.
Oh, really? Yeah. That's bad timing.
Oh, fuck off. Bye-bye. He said Elon Musk announced that he would lay off 10% of the electric automaker staff due to the super bad feeling about the economy that he had. Bobby Beretta Paris, volunteer president of the LGBTQ plus at Tesla, who worked as a recruiter, was among those who lost their jobs. Beat it, sir. Paris included president of LGBTQ on his LinkedIn page. An unnamed engineer, a diversity inclusive and inclusion leader, was also let go. Both were part of a broader wave of layoffs, but repeated that both employees had received multiple promotions in their relatively short tenures, seemingly indicated that their performance was not a cause for concern. Yeah, it's just you don't really need those departments, someone pushing for all that stuff.
Yeah,
I don't think
it seems like a bad timing, and I don't know if I agree with that.
He blew all that shit out.
What?
Remember Lindell when we went there? He's like, I don't even have an HR department.
Yeah.
We just blew that right out.
Right, yeah,
Don't
the
need
wall,
it.
he said.
Yeah,
Remember
he
pointed
pointed
at
at
the
the
wall
wall.
or something?
Yeah.
I don't remember what was there, a few pamphlets, I guess, or something. I
Yeah,
don't
there
know.
were pamphlets on the wall about what, where to take up your issues. We don't have some cunt in HR
Yeah.
anymore. We blew that whole thing out.
That still
I didn't
seems
even
like a
know that
dream.
was legal, but
I don't know that it is necessarily. But, I wonder if it is or isn't. I wonder if you technically
have to have
an
an
HR
HR
department. I wonder. That's a
don't
good
know.
question.
he had all the pamphlets on the wall, so he took it seriously enough that he at least did that.
You know what I tell people the most as far as my story of meeting Mike Lindell?
Yeah.
Is that before meeting him, I just assumed I didn't like black olives on a pizza. And I don't know if you remember, but he ordered us pizza, and we're sitting in his office having pizza, and there's that meeting going on even with those diversity.
We were in the meeting.
Yeah, we were in this meeting.
What do you mean? There was a meeting going on. We were invited into the meeting and took part in it.
Yeah, but I don't think it was really. I think he just does
Yes,
things.
it was.
Oh,
We were in the fucking meeting. I was giving my opinion on stuff.
No.
inner
We
city
totally
problems.
were. I'm just saying
Yeah.
I don't think that's necessarily was planned. I think it just happened.
No. He had a meeting coming up. He's like, why don't you guys join me? We'll have some lunch and discuss the inner city of what's going on in Washington, D.C. suburbs.
Right. But I had he had black olives on the pizza, and I just thought, well, I don't want to fucking be pulling them off, so I ate them. And I didn't mind them.
Yeah.
And I tell people, that's the story I tell about Mike Lindell to
That's
people.
your takeaway from
is that I
Lindell?
went into his office and I had black olives on pizza for the first time in my life.
God, what a crazy day.
It was nuts, dude. It's like a dream that it had, or whatever.
It was funny. Large corporations frequently enforce a progressive social and political agenda under the guise of diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives. Tech companies are particularly intolerant of conflicting worldviews outside of leftist orthodoxy. However, a recent poll conducted by Echelon Insights on behalf of the Daily Wire revealed that American investors, by a 2-to-1 margin, disapprove of companies leveraging their financial power for political or social means. My problem is I don't believe they mean it. I don't think any of them mean it.
Right.
I think it's all done as a signal, a virtue signal. You're playing your hand on. So I don't think any of them do.
And in reality,
Especially the large corporations.
Well, no, what I'm going to say is the reality, I believe, is that they do that, and then they quietly just fund the other guys anyway, too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like they go out and say, oh, yeah, we're giving money towards, an LGBT, whatever,
Right.
candidate or this or that. But really, they just give money to the other guy, too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Dude,
And
I know too many business guys.
Yeah.
Some that are in pretty big companies.
Yeah.
That are like, I don't give a shit about this. We just have to play ball with it. Like they admit openly
Yeah.
that there's ways to manipulate
Right.
their boards. Oh,
Yeah.
you need an all-female board. Oh, you need an all-woke board.
Yeah.
We can flip to have that too.
Yeah,
Like they
yeah.
all know how to game the system.
Right, of course.
So let's see. As Electric noted, the layoffs come amid Musk's concerns about the woke mind virus, which he believes to be the biggest threat to civilization. I agree. I think more than anything, it's the biggest threat to civilization. That sounds crazy because it's about ideas and words, but just the discourse alone that we're seeing in this country and globally, I think it's the biggest concern of this world. To civilization.
Yeah.
More so than climate change, more so than who's president. I think that one right there, the woke mind virus is a cancer that needs to be eradicated. I really do. Days earlier, SpaceX fired multiple employees who circulated a letter criticizing the billionaire entrepreneur for his behavior and values. Boy, read the room, guys. He is openly saying, Elon Musk,
Yeah.
if you don't, if you think that everything needs to change to whatever worldview you have, this isn't the place for you to work.
I guess I want to know why these got. Is that what's listed as why they got fired, though? I'd like to. I guess I don't know what they did.
So they wrote a letter.
Yeah.
Okay. Elon's behavior in the public sphere is a frequent source of distraction and embarrassment for us. So imagine Elon Musk runs a company like
Yeah.
I do, right?
Yeah.
Elon Musk and I are very, very similar.
Obviously, definitely.
He's the CEO of a company. I'm the CEO of Radio for One Studios. So basically,
Right.
we're on par with each other.
Absolutely.
Now, imagine if this was a letter written by people who worked for me,
Yeah.
right? I'm paying. So take Elon's name out of it
Yeah, yeah.
and replace it with mine. Mike Walters' behavior in the public sphere is a frequent source of distraction and embarrassment for us, particularly in recent weeks. As our CEO and most prominent spokesperson, Walters is seen as the face of Radio for One. Every tweet that Walters sends is a de facto public statement by the company. It is critical to make clear to our teams and to our potential talent pool that Walters' messaging does not reflect our work, our mission, or our values, demanding that Radio for One swiftly and explicitly separate itself from Mike Walters' personal brand. The day after the letter circulated, SpaceX President, COO Gwynne Shotwell said, the employees have been shit-canned.
Yeah.
I would do that too. If I had people working for me and they wrote a letter like that,
Yeah.
shitting all over me, dude, I hired you to do a job, not worry about what I'm doing. or saying.
Right. Yeah. I guess that makes sense. I'm trying to think about it. Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
The letter,
I would think that they should quit, though. I think in their mind, if they felt strongly enough about it, they should quit.
they feel comfortable. At no point in history have employees felt comfortable shitting on upper management or ownership like this before. Now they feel entitled because there's this whole virtue signal world going on, woke mind virus going on, that these people can feel that they can say whatever bullshit thing they want about the boss without any repercussions.
Right.
And if there even dares to be repercussions, we will hang you, CEO. Well, it doesn't work like that. And finally, someone stepping up and going, oh, you don't like the way I'm doing my thing? Well, you can fuck off and go find a new place to work. How about that? Bye.
Yeah, I think in this instance, I'm okay with it. I don't fully agree with that. I think that of
course you don't.
I'm really more and more getting quite feelings about some of these elitists and some of these people with a lot of money. The idea of like Walmart buying the Broncos, that they have this kind of money, but people that live in there but work for them, what they get paid and stuff. So I in this instance, I would tell these guys if they cared enough, they should have quit. I think that's what they should have done. They should have quit and said, hey, this is why we're quitting.
Yeah.
The idea that they're writing the letter, but they're still going to work there and take the money, I think is disingenuous. I would say.
Is any company going to be perfect all the time? No.
No.
They're not. And so, by and large, you look at these companies, the smartest, best, and brightest work for them. You're talking about a rocket ship company.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You're talking about the forefront of electric vehicles and green energy.
Yeah.
Like, that's what this guy's doing. And so, they constantly get high marks for inclusiveness and blah, blah, blah. They're on the cutting edge of technology and global leader in innovation and, the smartest people and the biggest brains in the world working there and fighting, climbing over each other to work there. And yet you have a problem with some of his tweets, and so you're going to blast the CEO? It's about time one of these CEOs went, yeah, good, bye.
I think I agree in
they
this
went on to
instance,
say
yeah.
this. Gwynne Shotwell said, the letter, solicitations, and general process made employees feel uncomfortable, intimidated, and bullied. That's exactly how I would feel too.
Yeah.
You either fall in line with what we feel is important, or fuck you. You're doing it wrong. Well, who's to say? Everybody's got an opinion. Yours is no better. This guy's running a multi-trillion-dollar company, not you. So sorry.
Yeah.
It's just the way it is. Made these people feel intimidated, bullied, and or angry because the letter pressured them to sign on to something that did not reflect their views. We have too much critical work to accomplish and no need for this kind of overreaching activism.
Well, like I said, in this instance, I think I'm going to go.
Standing ovation.
I'm going to say I'm okay with it because of the fact that they're working, like you said, at SpaceX. This isn't standing up for a class. See, I'm more getting on the thing with like whole class, and how much money people have. But in this instance, I think that's different to me because I think, like I said, they're working at SpaceX. He is not a old dinosaur of the old ways to me. You're right. And like you said, his companies are technically on the forefront of like trying to have e-cars and he has his business ever. So in this instance, I said if they cared about this, they should have quit. And because when they're trying to say like, oh, for help, they're as far as hurting them in the job, like, dude, your job isn't working at Walmart. Like, again, if these are Walmart employees starting to rise up about the minute
Amazon's a good one.
Amazon would be a great one, dude.
Horrible.
Horrible. I think Bezos is an absolute evil monster. In my opinion.
I do too. I do too.
But so in that sense, I could get it. In this sense, I'm going to say I agree with letting them go. Because I think these workers, if they felt that strongly, they should have quit and been like, these are the reasons why. They were apparently going to keep working a job.
You know when a new regime comes into like an NFL franchise?
Yeah.
That it's a fair example because it's like you've got these guys who have been on your roster for 5 years. Maybe some of them are all pros. They're the best guys on a really shitty team.
Yeah.
And a new regime comes in, it's like, what? They got rid of their only safety. He's the only guy that's fucking worth a shit on that whole defense. How dare you get rid of him? And it's like there's a culture change and an attitude change that needs to come with a new regime.
Right.
And when they start blowing out people that you think from the outside are valued members of the team, where this new regime is coming in and going, we cannot have a cancer in the locker room.
Yeah, yeah.
These are the cancers in the locker room here.
No,
to me.
That makes sense.
And it's like, no. You're being paid to do this. What you're doing on the side here, writing letters, demanding everybody fall in line with your woke ideology, whatever you go start your own SpaceX, sir.
Yeah.
Go start your own and make it this nirvana world place to work. Don't come in here and shit all over the boss and think there's no repercussions.
Right.
It just doesn't work like that.
Well,
in my opinion.
And it's just like, I mean, I don't know the whole story, so I'm not even going to say too much about it, but like even like Starbucks. Remember when, of course, you think Starbucks is being so liberal, and they came out after that one instance and like, oh, we let everyone use the bathrooms, and we're doing race diversity training.
Yeah.
Yet Starbucks is squashing every chance people get it, unionizing.
Good job. You got it.
Did I get it? Did I?
Yeah,
really?
you did.
Okay, but you know what I mean? Which is something I more and more.
Amazon's going through the same thing.
Oh,
right?
I know. And so my point is like that stuff to me is different. That stuff is really fighting for workers' rights and how much people should probably actually be getting paid or whatever that is. But this, I'm for it. In this sense, once I listened to it, I wanted to kind of, I really did.
You wanted to shit on it.
I wanted to take the role of saying, hey, I'm for them. But I would say in this instance, I don't agree with it. Because they're not arguing that they're not getting paid fairly. They're not arguing that they're not getting treated fairly. They're just saying that their boss is saying things on Twitter that they don't agree with. I think that's kind of bullshit.
Yeah.
I would agree with that.
You want to go over there and pull up this picture. Turn on your mic's on over there. You were a big fan of Juneteenth. You and I got into it yesterday.
Yeah.
I had people reaching out to me saying that discussion was hilarious, by the way.
Oh, good for them.
Yeah.
I don't care.
No. They found our discussion funny.
Okay.
Very funny. They
Thank
weren't
God.
shitting on you or me.
I just assumed.
No.
Well, good. That's good.
Yeah. New Orleans Mayor LaToya Cantrell pulled the drapes off an art display of an oversized black fist afro comb on Friday to celebrate Juneteenth.
You want me to pull this up? Or?
Sure.
Oh.
You can pull it up.
I think that TV's on.
The holiday commemorating the ending.
Oh, you know what? He must have turned it on. I didn't know it. My bad. Okay, there we go.
There you go. This reminds me of Spaceballs.
Yeah, for sure.
You know the scene I'm talking about?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, for sure. That's what I would have.
Yeah. We ain't found shit.
Yeah. Hey, you comb the desert?
Go out and comb the desert.
Comb the desert? We're combing the desert.
Yeah. So all the white guys are combing the desert.
Yeah,
and the black guys have the pick. The afro pick. We ain't found shit.
Dude, that movie, by the way, just, you know what's funny about that movie to me? I fucking love that movie. But that movie is one of those movies, like, my dad had some things where, you know how your dad will, like, sometimes maybe you shouldn't watch it yet, but they watch it. So they're like, well, I want to watch it. So we watched that movie, man, as a kid, and, you know, whatever. But I was watching that realizing later how much of the jokes I didn't get, how much of those were actually over. Like, I thought it was funny.
Yeah.
And I watched it, you know, later, older. I'm like, holy shit, these are jokes that I did not understand.
Didn't get
like,
at
I
the
was
time.
laughing, kind of, but not really.
You know what's Elon Musk's favorite movie?
Is it really?
Yeah. And that the gears he has on the cars, like that plaid version of the
That's from when they say we went plaid.
we went plaid.
That's fucking hilarious.
He actually incorporated that into the whatever series Tesla
Wow.
S series plaid.
That's
the new one
funny.
that's fast as shit. Goes from
yeah.
0 to 60 in 1.2 seconds or some shit. Yeah.
That's
how
funny.
cool is that? Like to take something from that, you know, like pop culture reference like that.
Yeah.
From a comedy and
Right.
actually put it into your car.
Right.
I
And
think
you-
it's great.
The other thing is, I had no idea because I didn't know yet the idea of like what was it? What's the guy fucking name? I can't think of it. Even though Mel Brooks.
Yeah.
Like I didn't yet understand again what parodies were or something.
Yeah.
So like I just thought it was a movie. Like it was, but I didn't like realize. Like I remember thinking like this kind of like Star Wars, but it's not. And I didn't understand. Like
didn't get it?
That's the point. It is kind of.
You
like,
were young.
Yeah. No, for sure.
Let's see. Cantrell, the mayor, LaToya Cantrell, tweeted a series of photos of the display called the artwork breathtaking.
Ooh.
Would you describe that as breathtaking? I don't know that I would.
Nah.
I don't think so.
I wouldn't say no.
This sculpture is very fitting for this time and place as we celebrate the freedoms that we have gained. We know that it doesn't come without struggles, fights, and protests for 200 plus years.
So you have the fist, right?
Yeah.
The black fist, I assume, right?
Yeah.
And then I don't
Black
know
Power.
quite what's under I know what the comb is, but to me, by the way, wouldn't it almost be like a stereotype?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I would think if a white person made this, right? If a white person made this,
No, a
instead
bunch
of
of black people made it.
But if a white person had made this,
Yeah.
and like said, like,
It would be the most racist thing ever built.
Like, what is a spit? Like,
So Cantrell, the mayor, said during the art display unveiling that the goal for this sculpture and future murals is to recognize and pay homage to Afrocentric hairstyles tied to Afrocentric roots that only black men and black women can rock.
now, see again, even beyond that part of you said that other people can't quote unquote rock those type of hairstyles.
You sort of rock it.
Yeah, right.
little
I
bit.
probably could use one. But like beyond that part, which is kind of whatever.
Yeah.
It again goes to this whole thing of like it's weird how we're all supposed to not acknowledge like, hey, we're all the same, but also then like you read that statement of like, but these are these go to very traditional African. But wait a minute, are we all the
Afrocentric.
same? Are we not all the same? I don't understand.
We are sometimes and sometimes
Okay,
we're not.
gotcha.
Yeah, it varies. The clenched fist grooming tool became popular in black American culture after the civil rights era when influential community leaders had embraced their natural, unprocessed hair as a part of their racial and cultural identity.
This is getting into what you were talking about on the prison the other day with the pubic hairs.
Oh, Jesus.
I mean, right?
Well, just saying that it didn't necessarily have to be pubes
Gotcha.
in the guy's food.
It
could have
sounds
been-
like this kind of maybe. I'm
Yeah,
wrong.
they're embracing it.
Okay.
The artwork came into view after the city officials approved a $7.2 million bond in 2019 earmarked for public art, which Cantrell said would primarily fund local black and brown artists. Boy, that just sounds racist as shit. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It just does. I don't know any other way to say it. Like, so you're taking $7.2 million in taxpayer-funded things, and you're only allowing black and brown artists, and this is what they come up with?
I'd rather have them just give them the money
Just give them the money, yeah.
and
I
then
agree.
not have to be pretending to look at this art and calling it like you know what I mean. What if
Calling
they
it breathtaking?
Yeah. What if they just found a dude? Hey, draw up on a piece of paper something you would do so we feel like you're good enough.
Yeah.
Okay, here's $1 million.
Yeah.
Instead of having a
Or
or 500,000 maybe. $1 million a lot, but
50,000.
yeah. Okay, you're right. Maybe
You know what I mean? Because you could give a lot more people
There you go.
$50,000
Yeah,
each.
yeah,
You did
okay.
$1 million. You're talking about 7.
I'll say
people.
100,000. I'll say 100.
This isn't Black Lives Matter. I mean, Black Lives
point.
Matter only enriches 7 black people's lives.
because art to me in general, the idea that we have to sit here and pretend that
Yeah.
this, for example, art is so subjective, and so often to me, I don't really care that much about it.
Dude, you could literally have a black man go up to the Capitol steps there and take a shit on him.
Yeah.
And call it art.
Yeah,
Here he is shitting on the system.
exactly.
This is absolutely worth millions.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
So to me, I'd rather just find the artist and kind of, do a pool like you said. If you had 100,000, that's 10 times what 7 you said they gave away.
7.2 million?
7.2, so 10 times like 700, right? 700 1,000s.
I don't know what math you're doing. 700 1,000s?
700 100,000s, right?
Yeah, sure.
So
I'll
there
go
you
with
go.
your math. I'm not in any. I'm so frazzled as is today. I'm not in any
Whatever-
mind space to.
However
figure out your
many
math.
you can put 100,000 into 7 million, I would rather
So
just find-
100,000 would be 10 for $1 million.
Yeah, so that'd be 10, 20, 30.
70.
Oh.
You said 700. You're in the ballpark.
I forgot I got it to round to 0 or something.
So that would be 70 people. We could make it 140 people if you did $50,000 each.
Okay,
I
but
think
either
our
way,
math could be
either
getting
way,
off, and we're in the weeds anyway.
either way, I'd rather do that than have this art up here. Personally.
Yeah, I mean, breathtaking in its stupidity, maybe. It is sort of
yeah.
breathtaking in its stupidity. So far, the city has purchased and displayed more than 60 pieces of art created by local black artists in front of public buildings. However, black conservative commentators responded to Cantrell's tweet by slamming the display. A 1970s Afro pic, #cringe, Anthony Logan wrote. Barrington Martin II, the host of the Barrington Report, called the artwork a joke and pathetic. This enormous steel sculpture dubbed all power to all people. You mean all power to black people, not all people. I don't even know if we're allowed to look at that.
Right.
We're white.
Right.
By artist Hank Willis Thomas, stands 28 feet tall and weighs 7,000 pounds.
And the other thing I would say is, as far as this money, like, I don't know, art, like that kind of art, I would way rather have it be used towards, like, more art that can actually be, like, art is such a fucking bullshit gig that no one ever knows who's going to make money. If it was like
how
art
you launder money. It's how rich people launder money. That's all it is.
So, like, to me, I would put that money into art programs that were more like, at least like theater maybe, or media. Like, as far as art like that, to me, I know I'm getting on the angle that you're not even going after.
No, you're, it's
But I'm
actually
just saying,
an interesting angle, because who gets something out of that?
Right.
So white people aren't going to walk by that thing and think anything other than
they're
going to make jokes about the stereotypes or.
Well, and those are the people that even know what it is. Most people, after about a week, won't even know what it's there for. If I were to go to LA and I saw that, I would just go, "Oh, there's a thing of art that's up."
Yeah.
Right. And I know there's a sign, but no
and
one
it's
reads
going to
the
move.
sign.
Apparently, this is going to be part of some traveling. Whatever. It's going to be up till July.
Gotcha.
July 12th before moving to the next destination.
But see, to me, this is, again, I would say that this falls under the line a lot of times of when people claim they're helping. I'm not even trying to be like, I'm serious. Like, take that $7 million and put it in scholarships to, like I said, at least like media classes or things that it could at least.
Well, we'll get to a story next about someone doing something for a community,
like when Dr. Dre went in and actually
at USC
and built a this is a program for music
in Compton. They did that.
Yes,
him and Jimmy Iovine.
Like, that's something that's helping to me. That's different.
Yeah, that's open 24 hours.
Right.
Donated music equipment from they're going to have the best opportunities with the sound editing, video editing programs, and teachers on hand to help. It's a whole
it's hard to be
program designed to help the community.
And it's hard to become a professional musician. But there's a lot more opportunities that's up and now can affect hundreds of people a day.
Yeah.
Literally actually affect them.
Art is such bullshit, isn't it?
It is. It's bullshit. I'm sorry. I am sorry, dude. If people want to draw, the people that can draw things that look like they're supposed to is fucking dope. To me, people that take actual, real sick photography where they set up to the
I agree.
the right time and they get the stopgap and they get the stars made, stuff like that. But fucking art that's subjective art is bullshit to me. And you're right, it's just money laundering.
And honestly, I would say the same thing. If you tried to do the white version of this, remember back in the 80s and stuff, people would have the combs in their back pocket,
right,
handle, and they could just they could comb their hair back or whatever when they're at the Livonia Spree, or something. Like, if you stuck one of those on the ground and were like, "Ha here's $1 million art piece," I'd be like, "That's the dumbest shit I've ever seen."
Yeah.
I don't care, but white hairstyles back in the 80s were feathered back, with a touch of Aquanet. And so this perfectly encapsulates the non-Afrocentric white style of the 80s. And we wanted to put that on display for what?
Any art, I don't give a fuck. Any art to me, when I walk into an art thing and it's just like, I have to it's up to interpretation.
Yeah.
No, stupid. Oh, well, this was my feeling of the postmodern world, whatever, blah, blah, blah.
Well, you take someone like Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
Who they were going to name a wing after at his high school, his alma mater in D.C.
I remember.
So that makes more sense. An art program,
Which they since didn't want to take because of his jokes, right? They ended up wanting to not take it.
Yeah, it was transphobe, obviously.
Yeah.
And so he announced a change of plans for the theater at his high school alma mater and revealed that it would not be named after him at all. Instead, it would be called the Theater for Artistic Freedom and Expression. And I like his take on this. I don't agree. I think it would be better all the way around for everybody involved if you called it the Dave Chappelle Theater for Artistic Freedom and Expression.
But I would say, and you're going to tell me more about it, I would say my feeling initially is, though, at least he took a situation and, he's taking a high road here in the sense that he still is just, you know what, fuck it, fine. You don't want my name on it,
I think it'd be better for the school for
I agree.
nationally speaking.
I agree.
Like, he's one of the most well-respected personalities in the world. Why wouldn't you want his name on the building in the school? Because a couple super uneducated, really stupid, propagandized children don't understand it. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me.
But like I said, well, here, let me hear what you said.
So during the ceremony at the Duke Ellington School of Arts held Monday in D.C., the comedian reflected on the backlash he faced over his transgender comments in his Netflix special, The Closer, and said that being told he couldn't say something has everything to do with my freedom of artistic expression, hence the new name for the theater. Chappelle rejected the criticism from students of his special and said they were just repeating someone else's agenda. Ooh,
yeah,
that's damning and absolutely true. These kids didn't understand that they were instruments of oppression. Chappelle also slammed the coverage of his special. You cannot report on an artist's work and remove artistic nuance. When you say I can't say something, the more urgent it is for me to say it. Totally agree.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with what you were saying. I can't say it. It has everything to do with my freedom of artistic expression. Chappelle concluded his remarks by explaining he didn't want any students to see his name on the theater and not feel good about it. The idea that my name will be turned into an instrument of someone else's perceived oppression is untenable to me. The renaming ceremony comes after he issued a challenge to supporters and critics to donate to his alma mater and said whichever side raised the most money will determine whether or not the theater would be named after him. But he requested, if you don't care enough to donate, please shut the fuck up forever.
Yeah.
And by the way, whichever side raises the most, the side that wanted to keep it his name raised the most.
And
still.
Yeah.
So
I like I said, in this instance, I would give him props. I like people taking the high road. I think he still got his message across and just said, you know what, I still want this thing to be here. He could have just walked away and said, hey, you know what, you don't want it? Fine.
Yeah.
So I personally like it when people take the high road, and I think in my opinion, he took the high road here, and good for him.
He did. You're right. But I remember being in high school and being all about whatever the hot topic of the day was.
For sure.
Whether it was like, oh, man, we're all for world peace. And then me and Troy and every one of our dipshit buddies would wear peace T-shirts and hats with it, not having any fucking concept of what was really going on,
right.
what the real argument was. We were just really, really stupid kids thinking we were fighting for something, man.
Yeah.
And adults were smart enough to not let us take that too far and make actual decisions. I think it would be much better for the Dave Chappelle Theater for, whatever artistic, whatever he was going to call it, would be more beneficial to that community just to have his name on it.
Yeah.
Honestly, I do. So it's a shame to me that that's not going to happen because I think it would have been better for all involved, especially going forward, to keep his name alive on something like that. But, toddlers who have been propagandized feel that they know better, so whatever.
Yeah.
It certainly won't help with fundraising.
No, it won't.
Fundraising with Dave Chappelle's name attached and having him more involved would definitely help. But what do they know? What do they care?
That's true.
They don't know anything about making their own money or how hard it is to generate money. So, whatever.
Yeah.
Good luck to them.
Be careful what you wish for sure.
There you go.
I'm down with, like I said, even though I know what people think about things I say sometimes, and you and me disagree more than we used to, I think, for sure. But on the same hand, like when it comes to all the trans stuff you say, I've said it on this show already, like I'm for it. I'm here for it, man. Go as far as you want. I'm 38. You're older than me. I'm 38 now.
Yeah.
I'll be fine at this. I've had enough of a life. I don't want it to go away, but I've had enough of a life.
I want them all to cut their dicks off.
I do, too. Fine with me.
Honestly, I think
every
that's
one
the
of them
best way forward.
Go ahead.
Best way forward. I should mention patreon.com/TDC Podcast. Seems like we're a little angry today. I'm in pain.
Are you?
Yeah. I think I've got sciatica. I have a doctor's appointment on Friday.
Good, from what I know.
It's not good. It's very, very painful, and it's unrelenting. And so I have to be very careful about what I take.
Yeah.
And it's paralyzing, though, man. And
No, it could be very bad.
Oh,
I know that.
It's horrible, and I don't know that there's a whole lot you can do.
I think you go to what is it?
A what? Come again? Psychiatrist?
Yeah.
You got this. Psychiatrist.
I can't fucking say the word.
No,
now.
psychiatrist. You said it. You nailed it.
Can't fucking. I don't even know what it is anymore. I literally can't think of it right now. Chiropractor. There we go.
Well,
I think they can help with that.
yeah, maybe.
But it depends. I don't know. I'm lucky that I've not so far had back problems. Luckily, so I've had
Yeah.
other problems, but not back problems. So
Yeah, they're coming. Don't worry.
I'm sure.
They're coming.
I'm sure.
Patreon.com/TDC Podcast. Sign up, show your support. I know it's been a little stale of late. There's been a lot going on around here. I really, really apologize, people. We're working to get stuff put up, and we'll do more this week. I promise you. Consider it a small lull here as Ryan gets himself squared away and right again. And I've got a lot of family in town, so it's been really hard to get everyone together to do more extra content. But I promise, we will. We're not going to let that fall behind. But I know it's been a bit of a lull here, but we will straighten that out. I promise. So sign up, show your support. It's the best way to support us right now. Exclusive content, tier for everybody. Keep sending emails, walters@detroitcast.com. I love reading them. We all love reading them. Amazon link, detroitcast.com for right now. Click the link, shop as normal. That's an easy, free way to help us. And you're all shopping through Amazon. Trust me, I know.
All right.
MyPillow.com, just use promo code TDC. Show your support to them, too. Mike is getting booted from everywhere, like literally blacklisted for his political views.
Yeah.
I don't know why people care that much. Anybody that hates Mike Lindell is never going to buy his products. They're never going to be influenced by what he says.
I know. I don't get it. Yeah.
Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Like whatever. If you think he's got crackpot ideas, well, I think half of you have crackpot ideas.
Right.
So what? I don't hate any of you. Whatever.
Yeah. I don't. Yeah. It is an odd thing.
It's weird to me, but they pick their targets and they're unrelenting. But
Yeah, for sure.
I love his sheets. I love his pillows.
Yeah.
I love the slippers. Just get a size bigger. If you're a size 10, get an 11. If you're an 11, get a 12. They run a tad small, but he's got a ton of stuff. Go to my shop. Is it mystore.com?
Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah.
Mystore.com to shop for everything. Just use promo code TDC when you check out. You get great discounts, up to 66% off on things. So at least give him a shot. Jordan Peterson. Do you know Jordan? You like Jordan, don't you?
I don't know.
Yeah, he's the Canadian professor, clinical psychologist.
Oh, yeah.
He's got like the 12 Rules for Life book that sold a bazillion copies.
I'm pretty sure I know who this guy is.
Yeah, I'm sure you've listened.
Yeah,
to
he's
him.
pretty gruff.
Yeah, he's awesome. He really is. Very smart guy. But he's talking about the failure of Toy Story. The new
Okay.
Toy Story.
Yeah,
We were talking about that.
Yep.
I heard someone arguing that 51 million's great. That's a great take at the box office in just 3 days.
Here's the thing about that is it can be for different films,
Right,
But when
not
you have
for a blockbuster.
right? It's that's a terrible defense to come to that
Yeah.
and say, oh no, that's good. Like, yeah, that is good for certain films. It's not good for a film who grossed 100 million.
142 million.
142
last
million
time they had
the last time
movie.
it came out. How could that, like, that's just follow the science. No, seriously, that's just numbers.
There's bands that sell 5 million copies in their initial release, right? Their debut album, and then their next album sells 3 million, and it's considered a total disaster.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, they sold 3 million copies. That's amazing.
Right.
Yeah, but they sold 5 million last time. We're
Yeah.
dropping them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So to say like, well, 52 million in its opening weekend, that's amazing.
It's kind of funny
No.
because I really try to like be a nice guy about some of this stuff, but like going on that thought process is not. You're in such a place that you can't even acknowledge. You could if you want to say, hey, this just proves the country's racist. I mean, I would disagree.
Yeah.
But at least that'd be like acknowledging that, hey, wow, it turns out we have more racist people than I thought. But to be so ingrained,
it wouldn't be racist. I guess you could say homophobic.
or bigot, whatever you want to say. Well, it doesn't matter what they say because I wouldn't agree with it. But I'm just saying, like, at least that'd be like, yeah, it made less because it turns out more people are bigoted than we realize. They put some stuff
Yeah.
in here, and these white people don't like it. But to come out and tell you like, oh, 50 million isn't that bad.
Yeah.
Not for that movie. It is bad. That's just a fact.
Very bad.
It's a fact. It doesn't matter what the reasoning is, by the way. Even if it didn't have any of this shit, even if it was just like it turns out people are sick of Toy Story, they wouldn't make another one then after that.
Yeah.
Because they'd say, oh, you know what? It's run its course.
I'll say this. If you came out with a new Toy Story next year and involved Tom Hanks and Tim Allen,
Yeah.
I bet it would gross over $100 million.
I bet it would too.
Just that alone. If you advertised Tim Allen reprises his role of Buzz Lightyear,
Right.
like
Because people would know he would be. He wouldn't agree to the script if he didn't like it, and that's why I said
Yeah.
I wonder what happened here. Really, if they weren't really paying him, or
I think
wonder
he's
if,
conservative, so he's blacklisted blackballed from Hollywood. It's as simple as that.
wonder-
It's happened to all of them.
yeah, for sure.
There's name a prominent conservative that's killing it in Hollywood.
Yeah.
You can't name one. I guarantee there are tons of them that are just
They just
closeted.
don't talk, right.
They're in the closet.
Yeah,
And they
sure.
know better, and they're smart.
right,
They're smart for staying in the closet.
right.
Every time someone peeks their head out of the closet, they get hammered.
Yeah,
Hammered.
for sure.
So I don't blame them. Peterson said this is the revenge of the market. Americans are by no means enthused by woke corporate activists shoving leftist viewpoints down their throat. A recent poll conducted by Echelon Insights showed that although 29% of American investors agreed it is a good thing for companies to leverage their financial power for political or social means supported by executives, 58%, twice as many, said it is a bad thing. Meanwhile, 56% of investors said the firms are merely trying to appease their critics. 34% said the firms genuinely believe it's the right thing. I think that number is double.
Yeah, like they think this is the right thing. Yeah,
they
of
think
course.
I don't think they think it's the right thing. I don't think they give a shit.
Really?
No, I think it's about money, and they think that this is going to help them. They
Yeah.
think they're going to be on the right side of something. They don't care.
Yeah.
How do they make money? That's the
Yeah.
goal. And they're finding out that there's not as much, like, just because the squeaky wheel is getting the oil,
Yeah.
doesn't mean that the rest of us support it.
Well, and doesn't
So
mean
you're
these are people
seeing
are going to
this.
go see. I mean, are those people all going to see freaking Toy Story? That's the reality. Too.
Well, they're
Like,
going to take their kids.
Yeah.
A lot of family people.
Well, no,
go.
that's my point, though. My point is the people that would be saying you need to be doing this. They're not even people that are going anyway.
Yeah.
So they're listening to those people that aren't even buying their product anyway.
True.
That's what I was kind of getting.
Yeah, that's true. When companies do take political stances, 36% of investors said they are too liberal. 17% said they are too conservative. Who are those 17%?
Right.
Wow. I mean, okay.
What? Yeah. What are they watching?
Who knows? Pixar, Disney subsidiary, reinstated the same-sex kiss between two female characters after Florida passed a bill banning classroom discussion on sexual orientation and gender identity for young children. However, another poll showed that 64% of Americans supported the parental rights legislation after they were presented with the actual language of the law. So if it was such a great thing, we talked about it yesterday briefly.
Yeah.
If it was such a great thing, the gay kiss, right? The lesbian kiss in this movie, why did they remove it in the first place? Why did it take legislation in Florida to make them reinstate it? Like, if it was so awesome and such a positive, why did they take it out in the first place?
Yeah. And dude,
Can you answer that?
I gotta go again. By the way, I don't even think a lesbian kiss would be that big of a deal if it was just there. If it was just if it was just a natural thing of a
agree more.
storyline. There's, you know, what I mean,
Can you, like, I don't know who it was. It said some parents, maybe it was the warden I was talking to earlier. Some parents would be really pissed if they took their kid there and then they saw a lesbian kiss and they weren't pre-warned about it. But I feel like you do. Like, that would just go by in a scene. It'd be really quick. Like, if you're panning the street as kids are getting ready to load the school bus for the day and each household is doing their thing.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Mom and dad are here and mom are here and dad are next door and they're all saying goodbye to their family for the day as this person goes off to work while these kids
Right.
go to school, and you have a light peck on the cheek of mom and dad.
Yeah.
You have a light peck on the cheek of mom and mom.
Right.
Light peck on the cheek of dad and dad. I think it would just blow by people.
like, here's an example to me. Like,
I
in
could be
movies,
wrong
like,
about that though, but
in
see,
movies, for example, I've started to have this thought. I've come up with this conclusion that, like, look, I get it. We all like sex. Don't get me wrong. But there's porno in movies that when they get to real, like, these heated sex scenes and stuff, I don't think they're that needed a lot of times. I really don't.
Well, they're proving that because they're taking them all out of everything. They won't even
Are they?
show a nice pair of titties anymore on
Yeah,
TV.
true.
In
True.
movies, it's bullshit.
But I don't think they're needed, truthfully. I always feel like, especially in certain movies where it's like, there are movies where it's like, I might see this with a parent. Like, it's not like you're not watching a super rated R movie. You're like, oh, kind of a PG-13, and they throw this, like, sex scene in there.
Yeah.
My point is,
You're embarrassed when you're sitting with your folks watching that?
I don't think it's needed. I don't think they're as needed as they often are.
Well, for the longest time, it was just a gratuitous titty shot.
I know. In the 80s, for sure.
80s, 90s, they were just find a way to take the hot chick and get her half naked.
Totally.
And I miss that. I'll be honest. I miss that a lot.
I get it.
I really do.
But my point of saying this is I, sitting here, have come to a conclusion recently that I don't even think that's even really needed. I think you can tell a story with that. And so my point is I wouldn't care if it was gay or not. But if a gay movie came out, and I was sitting there and be like, God damn it. Blah, blah, blah. It's like, it would have nothing to do with the gay thing. I sit there right now in straight movies and think, is this needed, this fucking over-the-top sex bullshit?
Selfishly, I'd like to see luscious titties.
I get it.
I just do.
But they don't even show those anymore anyway.
I know. That's my problem.
So the scenes I'm talking about aren't even showing those.
So if you're talking in a movie, if they show two guys just grinding it out in the bed, I'd vomit at that. That would gross me out. But that's just me.
But I'm saying,
it doesn't mean I hate them. It's just that I don't see myself anywhere in that. Everything about that is gross to me. That doesn't make me a homophobe. I just don't want to see it.
On my end, my point is
something. But I wonder, do gay people watch two straight people going at it? Oh, they're watching. I'm trying to think of a movie with tons of titties in it, like.
You just
what's the Sharon Stone movie with Michael Douglas? You know that one. Ice pick and blah blah blah. Tons of titties. That she flashes a vagina.
Oh,
there's just lots of sex. Yeah, there's lots of sex scenes in that. Would gay couples watch that and just be vomiting? Like, oh my god, this is so gross.
I don't know.
I'm tired of seeing this girl's titties and her vagina. It's unnecessary.
Yeah. I don't know, but my main point around this is I think
lethal.
It's just,
what? Not lethal.
No. I've never seen it, but I know what you're talking about.
It's great. It's great.
It's so,
you should watch it.
That scene of her changing the legs is parodied a million times.
Yeah.
Something affair. No, I can think of it even though I've never seen it.
Hold on. No, talk amongst yourselves.
Well, all I was saying in my mind is, from me,
people are yelling at the.
I don't even care if it's gay or straight. So if I were sitting in a place, I would react the same way to a heavy sex scene. As straight couples.
Basic instinct.
Yes, basic instinct.
Quit yelling. God, I can hear them through the headphones screaming.
My bad.
Not you.
Oh,
I mean, listeners.
Oh,
I can
gotcha.
hear them screaming. Basic instinct, you morons.
Assume it's me.
Dude, you should go home and watch that movie. Don't watch it with your folks. You'll be embarrassed.
Right.
Go home and watch Basic Instinct. It holds up for the most part.
Is it an action movie?
No.
Oh,
it's
really?
a murder suspense movie.
Okay.
What are you doing?
I'm seeing what streaming services is on.
Oh, it's out there.
Oh, I'm sure it's
out there. The same poll revealed 67% of Americans believe Disney was wrong for opposing the legislation. 67% of Americans, as it would protect children from inappropriate topics that should be discussed by parents. There were no meaningful differences between Americans of different racial groups, and a clear majority of Democrats expressed support for the legislation. In contrast to Lightyear, the movie, Top Gun Maverick, replete with military nostalgia and pro-America themes, crushed at the box office, earning $156 million during its opening weekend.
Yeah.
In fact, the Warden and G are off seeing it right now.
Wow.
Yeah.
They like America?
They do.
Okay.
I think so. Well, not the Warden so much, but G does.
It's funny, dude, that we joked at one point. I mean, dude, probably 3 years ago at this point, maybe 4, about how the idea of like flying an American flag, the American flag will be racist. You don't see, I mean, nobody other than people who are willing to admit they like the country fly that flag anymore at all.
Oh, no, it's a statement now. It's a political statement.
It's not
it tells people
at all anymore.
I need to get one. I need to get one of those 100-foot American flags.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
Fly it proudly on my
lawn.
lawn.
Here, it'd be tough here, but
why?
All the trees and shit.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe I gave the small one. Get my house
and you know what's funny? And you know what's funny? And I'm not going to turn this into this part of the story because I know I've been telling you off the air about this, so I'm not going to turn it into that. But I've been recently, as I've been telling you, going through the Always Sunny podcast, and they have it on YouTube and stuff.
I want to check that out.
You should. It's awesome. Anybody who likes Always Sunny should check it out. But that's not why I don't need to go down that route. But it's funny because they talked about an episode on that show about where the gang goes like all America on your ass or something like that, right? And it came down to a question where they did ask each other, and because they're all liberals for sure. The show has gotten a little more liberal. They're definitely liberal. Not bad enough, but they're there. They're Hollywood lefty guys. But they got to the question, they did say, do you like America? Do you overall like America? And I was legit interested in what these guys were going to say, and I would have liked them no matter what. But they all said yes. In the end, they said they don't think it's perfect. We think we could, there's things, of course, that we could always keep improving on. But all three of them very sternly said, yes, we do
This
like
is on
America.
the podcast, not an episode of It's Always
No,
Sunny.
on the podcast. And my point was, it's funny because it's such a thing now that literally even 5 years ago, we weren't there yet.
Yeah.
But when they started turning around the horn and asking each other, I was going to be very curious what they said.
Well, you're
and I
talking
was
about
happy that
people
they said
who have
yes.
made. They're in the such elitist, rarefied air of success stories in America. Like how people you can still poke holes and be like, oh, it's not perfect. Well, yeah, it's run by human beings. Of course, it's not perfect, but by and large, you can't get more successful than those guys or most of Hollywood, for that matter, have become.
But they don't say that. And I was just really interested.
Well, it's like, how do you shit? Like, they couldn't have that success anywhere else in the world.
Right.
There's literally nowhere else on earth they could have the kind of success they've had as they've had in America.
Yeah.
In all of Hollywood. So,
but other Hollywood
what was their take on why they like America then?
But other Hollywood people would not say that.
Not now.
These guys said, I think, and it's already, how my brain is, I already kind of forgot. But overall, I think their take was, yes, again, it's not perfect, but mostly we think it's pretty good and it has, the opportunities are here, like you were saying almost, or something like that. But, and I think I believe actually I don't think they would have brought it up. I wonder if in this instance, they seem to not do a lot of prep. They seem to just walk in. I wouldn't doubt if in this instance they asked each other, what would you say to this? Before they asked it. Because I don't think they would have wanted to. I don't know. I don't know if they would have wanted to say no. I think if their answer was no, how they seemed to talk, I think they would have just not even brought it up.
Yeah, that could be.
But it was interesting, and it was weird that I was sitting there actually legit thinking, what are they going to say?
Yeah,
because you don't get that.
Isn't that shocking?
Yes.
That you had to stop and think that.
And it's funny because I know my buddies love that show, and love those guys, and I'm sure that wouldn't change their opinion. But I'm sure they'd still like the show. But I'm sure them hearing that they would not like it, which is so fucking dumb.
Do you have a couple commercials over there you can read?
Oh,
I gotta pee really bad. Can you
wow,
just
sure.
Take
you
your time.
To read something.
Have
here?
fun, Isis. Have fun.
Do I get to pick, or what am I doing here?
Let me see what you got.
I mean, there ones I'm supposed to versus other ones.
I don't know.
There's three.
Set these out. Let's see.
I mean, these are just three here. Did he set? I mean, maybe he set these out as.
So read that.
Oh boy.
And then 1, 2, or 3, and then close with that, and then
So
do that one.
all of this, and then 1, 2, or 3, and then this. Okay. He's gonna love fucking this, I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
We are excited to announce that the original, the first, the OG of TDC sponsors is back and ready to make all your wildest dreams come true. Gabara and the team at Zotford and Holly are back to supporting the cult leader and T-Roy, and even sometimes the E-Tard, that's me. Not to mention doing what they are best at, taking care of all your listeners with the best deals in the D, paying you more for your trade-in than anyone in the city, and of course making buying and leasing simple, fun, fast, and easy. And then I got to pick one of these. I'm just going to go with number 3 for Dale Earnhardt. Our peeps at Zotford actually have a handle on new vehicles in stock and are ready for immediate delivery while supplies last, which won't be long. Zotford has the new 22 Ford F-150s, Bronco Sports, Escape, Edges, and the all-new 22 Ford Expedition on the lot and ready to go home with you today.
You're still on the first read. I whizzed and came back.
It's your first come, first serve act now. Do you want me to read the other one?
No.
Okay.
That was bad enough. We're good.
Okay.
You're good. At least we could say we did that. Gabara can't. He'll nickel and dime us.
I mean,
He'll be a prick and he'll come back and be like, "You didn't do a read on fucking Tuesday."
I mean, you got more than you paid for. Like you said, that was about a 2-minute read.
It's supposed to be a 30-second. You did 2 minutes.
Yeah. Plus
It
a little
takes me
stick
minute,
in there.
Full minute to whiz. So.
Right.
Do you think this is a fat chick?
You can give it in my hand even.
Quickly, and then give it back to me. Do you think that's a fat chick trying her best to not look like a fat chick?
I'll give you that. Yeah.
Okay. So she's going out of her way in this picture
I would say
to
yeah.
not be looking her fattest.
Yeah.
Like a person, like there's a reason chicks especially, but me included, go like this with their phone and take
For
a picture
sure.
like
The
that, right?
high-angle shot.
The high angle shot. What is the point of that? To try to make it look slimmer, wearing darker clothes, all that. So I wanted to show you that picture. I blew that up of the person who wrote this article, showing that even her, who appears to be very proud of her fatness, wants to try to make herself look sort of thin in this picture. Right?
Oh, so I get what you're saying. Is that that's not the part of our article though, right?
No.
Okay.
So her article, do we really need another skinny actress in a fat suit? She's very upset that you don't have a real tubbo playing a role in a movie. Why would you get Emma Thompson when you could get, some no-name fatso?
I mean, at this point, there's got to be enough fat people out there that are trying to be actors, though, right?
Sure.
I would.
Doesn't mean they're good enough, or
Yeah.
why don't we get actual murderers to play murderers?
Well,
in movies?
I think that's different
Why?
because
I mean, for authenticity, if you're gonna have a fat role, have a fat chick in it.
look, I'm not for some of this stuff. I'm just saying. I think with fat people, there's probably. I mean, look at America. There's enough fat people out there.
Yeah,
that could
most
get
of us
someone
are.
Right.
Yeah.
So you could get someone to act it.
For the upcoming musical fantasy film Matilda, Emma Thompson, that's the key to me. Emma Thompson. That's a name that's going to draw people to the box office.
Right.
Not this tubbo.
Yeah.
She's has been pictured reportedly wearing a fat suit for her role as the fictional headmistress Agatha Trunchbull. Of course, how else would the film industry portray an antagonist who is evil, ugly, and has a nasty disposition than with a slim actress in a grotesque fat suit? Fat suits have been so normalized that some people probably haven't even noticed, and that is what is so frustrating. It's not the first time Thompson has been pictured in body-altering prosthetics either. She was photographed boasting some fake bingo wings and jowls for her role in The Legend of Barney Thompson, and it was revealed that she wore a fat suit for her role as Karen in Love Actually. The presumably size 16, frumpy, comfortable shoe and floor-length skirt-wearing middle-aged wife that has inevitably been cheated on. As a bigger woman, that's how she starts that sentence. As a bigger fatso, she meant fatso. As a fatso, I find this characterization of my body type utterly dehumanizing and degrading. It's not ethical, authentic, or representative of any lived experiences whatsoever. I highly doubt that any actor that bears the brunt of a fat suit knows the pain of not finding clothes that fit, or the person next to you on a plane sighing when you sit down in the middle seat. Yeah, that's brutal. When you get some tub of shit sitting in the middle seat in a plane.
Yeah.
There's nothing but you can do but go, oh.
No, that is rough.
Your choices led to me having a miserable flight.
Yeah.
And I'm close. There's people that might groan at me, and I'd be like, I'm sorry. My bad.
Yeah.
I made some horrible choices. I ate way too much fast food, didn't exercise enough, and now I've put you in this really shitty position of having to groan to show your discontent with me.
And I would
here.
say, if a larger person were to ask me, hey, I'm kind of bigger, would you mind taking the aisle seat? That'd be a big no from me.
Yeah, you'd want the middle?
I'm saying if I had the aisle seat and maybe he's like, oh, well,
I'm bigger.
I'm kind of bigger. Would you mind if that's a big no.
Yeah, giant no.
I think I told it one time. One time I had a time where a guy, it was a guy and a girlfriend, and I had an aisle seat because I like aisle seat because I'm tall and stuff like that.
Yeah, and you get that leg extended on the aisle.
I like to be able to go to the bathroom whenever I can. Anyway.
I used to always take the window, but I'm an aisle guy now, big time.
Yeah, aisle all the way. And this guy with his girlfriend, he was sitting in the middle seat behind me, and she was sitting in the middle seat next to me. And he's like, hey, that's my girlfriend. Would you mind sitting next to me? I'm like, man, if you weren't, I look back there, you're in the aisle or in the middle, dude. I'm not sitting in the middle.
Yeah, did you say that?
I said, dude, if you weren't in the middle, but I really like the aisle. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Did you say I got long legs? It doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
Fuck you. You should have picked. Yeah. You should have booked your flight and picked an aisle seat if that's what you wanted.
Right.
Why are you separated from your girlfriend?
Right.
In the first place.
Exactly.
Why is this my problem now?
Right. Exactly.
No. I mean, maybe if you offer me $500.
Yeah, I should have said that. Like, what's it worth to you?
Yeah.
That's what I should have
What's it worth?
said. Right.
You buying my meal and drinks the whole flight?
Yeah.
Otherwise, no. Get out of here. Why are you in my space? They don't know what it's like. Gym instructors telling you to work harder. Don't gym instructors tell everybody to work harder?
Yes.
And maybe you need to be told to work harder. Clearly you do. Strangers telling you to keep going when you run past them on the street. Oh, so they're being encouraging and you take issue with that. Doctors telling you you're obese, even though you're the average size for a woman. No, ma'am, you are not the average size for a woman. That's the whole point of your article.
What is the name of this girl? Just curious.
I don't know. I didn't even have it in here.
Okay. I was trying to look her up because the person I saw that possibly looked much fatter than that picture, but I don't know that.
Just Google, do we really need another skinny actress in a fat suit?
Okay.
That story will pop up and give you the author's name. I delete so much of this shit trying to save paper because I care about the environment.
There you go. I appreciate it.
Yeah, that I didn't even include Tubbo's name. Or girls at school avoiding you simply because you're just too fat. Is that a thing? People avoiding fat chicks at school? I remember a lot of fat chicks having great personalities and they were friends with everyone. So maybe, I don't know. Maybe that's a thing where skinny girls just avoid fat girls. I don't know. In primary school, a boy used to call me Emmy the Elephant. He'd follow me around the playground waddling and making trumpet noises. Kids are assholes, Tubby. I don't know what to tell you. Right? That happens a lot.
Yeah.
I was 10, and while I can laugh about it now with my self-esteem in a better place, I won't deny that it hurt and left its mark. Oh, you sound totally like you can laugh about it now. And your self-esteem seems right there on par with healthy.
Yeah.
Right? At times, I feel like I've had to work twice as hard and make my voice heard for employers to take me seriously, with a common assumption being that as often the fattest woman in the room. Oh, so now she's the fattest woman in the room often, but she tries to say that she's a normal size for a woman. So the assumption was I was lazy or not worthy to be more part of the background, be more than part of the background. Plus size women especially are often punished for being the size they are, as they're seen to be rejecting the strict confines of society. I remember seeing so many slimmer girls being picked for sports or chatted up in clubs. They're hotter. Have you chatted up a bunch of fat chicks in bars?
Well, I'd go as far as to say, what about, you think I just have girls coming up to me?
No.
Left and right, models coming. So it's like, you think I don't see girls talking to other guys other than me?
Yeah.
You think so it's like.
So you should write an article about it and say that you're
Right.
totally fine with it now. You can laugh about it now.
Right.
But
right.
write a whole article about it.
So, I mean, I understand. I think that fatness is unfortunately a thing that's, it's harder, no question about it. But like that line, for example, that's called the dating scene. For almost anybody that's other than, for any guy that's not extremely hot, and for any girl that's basically not fat. Because anybody that's not fat or below, they can, get talked to.
Yeah.
And any guy that's not extremely good looking, because guys, you have to be really good looking to be a guy to just get away with it. To me.
Yeah, we did.
Well, okay, but
Back in the day, believe me, I didn't always look like this.
But I know, I remember. But
yeah, remember you said you'd fuck me before you
exactly.
of anyone in the Joe Mike show.
Yeah.
There was you wouldn't say that now.
Hotter than Mark, I still think. I don't know.
Really? I'd still be your first choice. Thank you, man.
I think you're better looking than Mark. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I am better looking than Mark. No question about it. I remember seeing so many slimmer girls being picked for sports. Yeah, the whole point is you want to win. Everybody remembers the
I remember being picked last too, by the way.
Yeah.
And guess what? I was,
you were kind of athletic.
I was kind of okay at sports. I played them, right?
I've seen you play basketball. I've seen you run.
Right. I can put a ball in a hoop, and I got picked last.
And you can throw a baseball.
Yeah.
You can hit a baseball.
Yeah.
That was just strictly because you're a weirdo. That you were
awkward.
Like
I didn't I wasn't, fit in. Yada yada.
Yeah.
So it is what I know. It's we can't.
So
make
everyone
life
has
perfect.
their bear to cross.
Right,
their cross to bear.
We can't make life
that's
perfect.
what it is.
Not possible.
No. Honestly, that's the hill you're going to die on. I remember seeing so many slimmer girls being picked for sports. Well, no shit. Slimmer girls are probably more athletic.
Probably not softball.
Maybe not softball, yeah. Or wrestling.
Wrestling,
You know, if you're going out for the sumo team.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you do something where you need to be, soccer.
Yeah.
Where you need to be quick on your feet and stuff, you're probably going to assume that the 120-pound girl can move around the field a little better than the 240-pound girl.
Right.
I don't know what to tell you about that. It's just kind of seems like all throughout human history that would be the case. And yeah, you honestly think the dating scene in clubs is fair between fat chicks and skinny chicks?
Right.
I don't know what to tell you. You think the 5'4" guy trying to pick up chicks in the bar is getting the same thing as the fucking Jocko in the bar that's 6'2" and looks like an Adonis?
I know.
You know, that's like him writing an article going, yeah, it's bullshit being 5'4" and chicks ignore me in the clubs. It's like, yeah, your window of opportunity is much smaller than the fucking obvious stud that walks in the door.
Yeah.
Sorry. The fat chick has to understand that too.
Right.
I remember seeing blah, 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 chatted up purely based on the idea that their body fitted into the right mold that society had cast for my gender for generations. That's ingrained in human beings. It's why you don't date someone that's sick.
Right.
You don't look at someone with a terminal disease and go, I'm going to mate with them.
Yeah.
No, like that's deeply ingrained in our DNA. Like, ugh.
Yeah.
I want someone that looks like they can bear children. That's like the caveman DNA we have. So, yeah, someone's going to look at you and think you're more sickly probably, and they're not dying to mate with you right out of the gate. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I don't. They're still good looking. That might not be a bad situation to me.
What?
Girl's gonna die, man.
Well, for you, yes,
they're probably
that's
gonna want.
true.
They're really want to like think of like how much they have time left, but they're gonna want to make the most of it.
Yeah.
Probably get all that pleasure shit out. It's like they're not gonna be there in a while.
But the same thing goes for,
No, I know what you mean, dude,
for
obviously.
this girl walking down the street. She's going to have a standard too.
Right.
And for her, there could be a homeless guy on the street corner
Yeah.
that might have the greatest personality of all time, but it's ingrained, hardwired into her DNA to find a mate that's compatible, that will look after you, that will help you, that will be a provider or some sort of a benefit to your life. And you go, I hate to be an asshole, but I'm looking past the homeless guy. It doesn't look like he can take care of himself. Doesn't look like he's fit to be stable on his own feet, let alone helping me advance my cause.
Do you remember? I don't know if you remember because I might have told you at some point. I feel like I did, but it's all right. There was a story I saw one time where a girl met a dude, didn't know he was homeless. They went. I don't know if they kind of went on a date or she got his number. And at one point she goes like, "Hey," he texts her up. He's like, "Hey, what are you doing today?" She's like, "Oh, I can't see you today. I'm out of work all day, right?" "Oh, well, what if I just come by your house?" She's like, "Well, we just met." Comes to find out he was homeless.
Yeah.
And so she put it online going like, "Oh my God, this dude, he hit on me. Then second time after talking to him, he wants to come to my house, but it turns out he's homeless and blah, blah, blah." She got blasted by everybody. "How dare you, you slamming homeless people and blah, blah, blah." I was like, well, she should have just brought him into his, like she thought she was putting on there thinking, dude, this is crazy. I got this guy's number. And
until every year through human history up until 2021,
right,
that would have been the case. People were like, are you out of your mind?
Right.
No.
People blasting her, going like, "How dare you not just let a homeless man in your house that you just met?"
Yeah. So she says, seeing slim actresses in fat suits hurts. It's fat phobic and proves yet again that plus size women have to work harder to be recognized for jobs that should by right be theirs. They have a right to that job now. Actresses like Amy Adams, Courtney Cox, Renee Zellweger, Gwyneth Paltrow, Julia Roberts, Mila Kunis, Sarah Paulson have all worn fat suits in the past, and while they're extremely talented, they're all slim. Fat suits in movies are hilarious. Throwback scenes.
Yeah.
Monica Geller.
Yeah.
In the fat suit.
Yeah, those were
hilarious.
Those are funny.
Friends. They're funny as shit.
Obnoxious. And when you look back at it, having said it, obnoxious that they suggested she lost all that weight like a year.
Yeah.
But other than that,
And
it's
is
funny.
shredded, too.
Yeah. Just like she just went to Monica.
Prosthetics for fat characters are designed to be ugly, too. They're wobbly, dimpled, grotesque, and unattractive. Yeah, just like real fat chick bodies.
Right.
You just named every fat chick body, and fat guy body for that matter. Wobbly, dimpled, grotesque, and unattractive. So they're designed to be,
by the way,
very realistic.
You know what would happen, by the way?
What?
I feel like if you went she's like, if you went away from the fat suits and you went to what she wants, then what does the casting call say, by the way?
Chick.
Looking for fat chick.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Looking for wobbly, dimpled, grotesque, and unattractive.
Think about it for
fat
real though.
chick.
That's what that would say. Would she be okay with having it said like, I'm reading
Well,
for
it'd
the
be
fat chick?
Disrespectful. Yeah.
So see, even if she got what she
reading
wanted,
for fat chick number 1, fat chick number 2.
yeah, if she got what she wanted, then she would have to go into reading for fat chick.
Yeah.
And knowing that the joke is you're fat. Would that be okay? It wouldn't be okay.
No.
So it's funny because it really wouldn't be. This is almost a nicer way of doing it. If you think of, not even with your names, but if you think about it, it is.
Yeah. I agree totally.
So it's kind of funny because if you follow
I ran that same thought process with What's Eating Gilbert Grape.
Yeah.
Like the mom who's like 600 pounds and needs to be craned out of the house.
Yeah.
Like, how did the casting call for that go?
Right.
We're looking for the most disgusting woman on planet Earth.
Right.
Apply within.
I always think about it with casting calls, dude.
Like,
old people.
It had to have been like
Right.
that. Like, we're looking for a 600-pound woman that we can continually like beat up throughout the movie because of how disgusting she is.
Right.
She's going to be craned out of the house at some point.
Right. So that's
the car is going to lean to one side when she sits down in the driver's seat. You know what I mean? Like, how did that casting call look? And would this person find that was awesome?
Right.
An opportunity for a fat person?
That's my point. See, if it went the other way,
Yeah.
then that article is going to be about how it's typed out and how there just shouldn't be fat people. And by the way, think it to the conclusion. What's the conclusion then? We just don't have fat people in movies.
Yeah. Exactly.
I mean,
or
talk
just
yourself
like
right out of a job.
we take up who out of The Simpsons? How good was that for Indian people?
Right.
Really, the first time they're represented on TV
Right.
by someone who's one of the most beloved characters in the history of that show.
Right.
And you just wrote him off. And I know Indian people. Raj is like, well, shit.
Right.
Was it like, here's a family man with
Just left
fucking
8
multiple
kids, man.
kids and a wife, runs a business. He's tireless in his efforts.
And honestly, the thank you come again guy kind of went away like 10 years ago. Like, you know what I mean? He wasn't really. It was
I still like him. Thank you. Come again.
But I'm saying, like, he wasn't even more like he got a lot more depth as the show went on in reality. It wasn't even like he was the same very basic character in the
growing.
Right.
Like we all like think about those Simpsons. That show's been on for what, 30 years?
Yeah, 32 years, something like
32 years. Think about and the same guys.
Right.
So think about those guys who are 52 now, 55, started when they were 20.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So my attitudes have changed since I was 20, believe it or not.
Yeah.
So have yours.
Yeah.
And you don't think the Simpsons guys' attitudes have changed and grown up a little bit, matured a little bit?
Right. And so like
you see the depth in all those characters.
The character wasn't even the same anymore. He wasn't even he had, like you said, depth, a family, kids. I mean, he was a respected member of the community. It wasn't like he was shit upon.
No.
It wasn't like they walked in there almost like a South Park character and just like, oh, fucking Indian guy.
Yeah, no. And you're totally right. Thank you. Come again.
Yeah.
It was.
Like, I think he still said it, but it was. I don't even know what he did for a while.
I don't even know that he did either. So she's talking about the fat suit being wobbly, dimply, grotesque, and unattractive. They're humiliating and don't treat the plus-size community with the dignity and respect they deserve. Okay. You need to explain. So you're blanketing saying that the plus-size community, so 50% of America, deserves some sort of dignity and respect for what? What have you done to earn that?
Just being fat.
Just being fat. Like you want us to believe that just by being fat, you've earned some sort of level of respect and dignity.
Right.
How about you as a human being have earned my respect and dignity?
Right.
Because there's lots of fat people that I know that I respect and I give absolute dignity to.
Hey, guess what? There's lots of skinny people I don't respect too.
Oh, tons.
I'd say a lot of them. Probably most of them.
It's hardly a coincidence that actresses that do wear fat suits often portray characters that are unloved, undesired, and often non-sexual as well. Yeah, it's an undesirable body type. You can force it as much as you want.
Yeah.
You can force it down people's throats, but there's a reason that stereotype exists.
Right.
Sorry, it's the reason nobody looks twice at me on the streets anymore.
Yeah.
There's a reason.
I go, yeah.
I walk down
I
the
feel
street.
bad.
No, it's true. I used to go into a bar and I'd get glances, and it was like it was crystal clear. If you made eye contact with someone, they weren't horrified.
Right.
Where it was like, there's an open window here. Those days are so fucking gone. It's not even funny. They're gone.
Yeah.
I'm old and fat and gross. Sorry, lady. So are you. You're not going to be the pick of the litter anymore. Sorry. You're just not. That or they're used for comedic value. Yes. Hilarious. Monica.
Right.
Monica Geller in the fat suit.
Yeah.
Just like the throwback to the guys with the hairstyles from the early 80s and stuff.
Yeah.
Shitty bands. And you're like, oh my God, this is hilarious.
Yeah.
Encouraging harmful stereotypes and suggesting that it is acceptable to make jokes at plus-size people's expense. In 2001, Shallow Hal, Paltrow plays overweight character Rosemary Shanahan, who the film's protagonist, Jack Black, has to be hypnotized to find attractive and fall in love with.
But he falls in love with the
inner
fat
beauty.
one in the end, though.
Yeah.
In the end, the message is that he falls in love with the inner beauty in the end, and he likes her how she was.
Yeah. Sarah Paulson,
Whatever.
who donned a fat suit to play Linda Tripp in Impeachment, American Crime Story. Well, the only person who could play Linda Tripp literally might be Linda Tripp. That's how ugly she was.
Right.
So if you're going to have Sarah Paulson, who's actually hot and a lesbian, play Linda Tripp, you're going to have to doll her up in a fat suit.
Yeah.
But Sarah Paulson's a great actress. There's a lot of controversy around actors in fat suits, and I think that controversy is a legit one. I think fat phobia is real. I think to pretend otherwise causes further harm. That's a quote from Paulson. But what have these women actually done for the plus size community? I'm yet to feel encouraged or represented by them as actresses. Harmful stereotypes and fat phobia still exist, and slimmer actresses are still heaving themselves into heavy foam prosthetics without feeling the repercussions. They just get paid to pretend to be overweight, continuing to ignore
get paid to act?
the countless talented actors in plus size community is so degrading. It's indicative of the same shame that has been placed on people who aren't slim for decades, and that is still rife today. It's humiliating. It feels we are constantly being punished for being the way we are. It's behavior that belongs only in Miss Trunchbull's chokey.
It feels like I'm constantly
Right?
punished for how women treat me because I'm just not suave as much, or I'm not as good looking. Like I feel like, am I punished by that? By the way, just real quick, I don't do these that often. I guess I was supposed to say, oh, go check out their tiny but mighty inventory. Get the deals in the
Very good,
D.com.
Isis. Very good.
Please close with this daily.
There you go. So now Gabara cannot get pissed at us.
check.
You did everything you were
everything,
supposed to do.
right.
Nice job. All right, let's read an email and get out of here. Well then, hey Mike, something about today's show that I can't put my finger on was
boy.
off. Loud, obnoxious nonsense.
Oh.
Squawking. Make it stop. Please make it stop with love.
May I have a retort to that?
Sure.
With a self promotion. If he likes that, oh no, that doesn't work. Never mind. Doesn't work. Did you mind if I plug do you mind if I plug my show with Amy though real fast?
No, plug your show with Amy. I love Amy.
I want to say this because with me not
You know you don't deserve a co-host like Amy, right?
I know, I'm lucky.
She's way too hot and way too smart for you. No offense.
That's why she's there.
Yeah.
No,
offense.
but I agree.
You can't take offense 'cause I said no
absolutely
offense.
none. Exactly, none taken. I did want to just mention it for whatever it's worth because I'm off the road. I know it seems like what was I going to do with this show? So I wanted to keep it going because I don't want to just go away when I'm going to come back in the fall. So what I'm doing now with Amy is we're still doing it weekly, but I'm just going to more go into detail of some of these crazy stories.
Why don't
from
you
my
guys
life.
come over here and do it? In a real studio and video and everything instead of that stupid Zoom bullshit.
I would probably, at this point, dude, I could look into that, but it'd have to be on with schedules and driving over here with gas and shit like that. I don't know. It's tough, but I know what you're saying. Maybe I have thought about it.
I mean, it'd be more professional sounding and looking.
I agree. And I do like talking to someone in person.
Yeah.
I'll
way better.
Maybe I'll talk to her about if we could find a day that would work for her and me.
Even if it's only a couple times a month.
Yeah. Maybe I'll talk to her about that. But anyway, what I want
Or a day that you're already over here doing the show with me and then you guys do one after or before.
That's a good point. Because with her, I will say, with me going on this route, which we're going to do, is what I'm going to do is until we go back on the road, I'm going to choose each episode and tell, a few stories from my life that, that are just whatever, that people haven't heard maybe in detail, and it's kind of fun. She has a good reaction to that stuff and stuff like that. So in person, it would be so much better in reality. So maybe I'll try to work on a way that would work out. But point is, I just want to say, even if we're out on the road, I still think we're going to have some really cool things that people would enjoy here. Like this week, I'm going to do the Mackinac story. We haven't talked about that in a long time, and I'm going to go real detail, on what went down
Where's
that night.
Traverse City compared to Mackinac?
Traverse City's on the northwest side. And then Mackinac City's like, I'm doing the Michigan thing. I know here, but like Mackinac's here, Traverse City's over here.
So how far?
About an hour and a half. Maybe, wait, no, 2 hour to 2 hours. I don't exactly know.
All right.
In that range. But anyway, I know it's corny, but I want to point it out. I'm still doing it weekly with Amy. It's gonna debut.
What's it called?
Big comedy. What is it?
Biggie's Comedy Venture?
Biggie's Comedy Venture. It comes on every Friday morning from now on. I started putting it out on every Friday morning, so it's same time every time. We record it throughout the week, but it's on Friday morning every week. We're doing it every week throughout the summer until I get back on the road. And I'm just sharing some fucking stories from my life with her to keep it kind of rolling. So I just wanted to bring it on.
Right on.
So thank you very much.
Sounds good, buddy.
That's it.
All right, let's call it a day
terrible at
there.
that shit, man.
Yeah, you're pretty bad at that. You
I gotta
should write it down. Just do some bullet points.
Honestly, God, that was terrible. But
That's okay. I helped you through it.
You
You're
did.
good. We
I
got
feel
the
really
gist.
terrible
It's Friday
about it.
morning. People can find it wherever they find podcasts.
yeah, they can.
Big E's Comedy Venture.
Yes, correct.
All right. And remind me, and I'll plug it for you. I'll
I
post
appreciate
it out.
that.
Yeah, no
Thank you.
problem. And we should put it on our, on the site here.
I'd be down with that for sure. I don't know.
Yeah. I'm not doing that with those two clowns who mooch off you. But I do that with you and Amy.
I'm not going to get into some of that stuff.
Okay.
But what I am going to say is that I am plugging the Amy one and Amy and me one.
All right.
That's what I'll say.
Very good. Understood. Like the way you did that. All right, everybody. Have a great rest of the day. We'll see you. Troy will be back tomorrow. for a Wednesday episode and be back Thursday. I don't know if you're still planning to come Thursday.
Unfortunately, I think
Guess.
I am doing that other show with those guys now because we couldn't. Something came up that I have to do something. So
all right. Well, thank you for coming in and filling in today. I
appreciate it.
really appreciate it, dude. I had fun with you. All right, everybody. Have a great rest of the day. We'll see you tomorrow.